Nothing shakes a woman who undervalued you more than watching you become peaceful without her. Folks, when a woman does not value you, most men react the wrong way. They argue, they chase, they send long messages. They try to explain their heart one more time. They hope if they love harder, speak clearer, forgive more, and stay longer, she will finally understand what kind of man she has in front of her. But that is exactly where your power starts dying. My friend, she may not notice your pain at first. She may think you will keep waiting, keep explaining, keep accepting, mixed signals, cold moods, and disrespect, dressed up as confusion. She may believe your desire for her is stronger than your respect for yourself. Then one day you stop. No drama, no begging, no revenge, no angry performance. You simply stop feeding her ego, stop chasing her validation, stop explaining your heart, and start choosing your peace. That is the moment everything shifts. In this video, you will learn what truly hurts a woman when she does not value you, why silence hits harder than arguments, how taking back your access changes the power dynamic, and why your peace can shake her more than your anger ever could. Stay with me until the end, because the final move shows how to walk away as the blessing she failed to recognize. Let's get into it. Number 1. Stop feeding her ego. Let's be real, folks. When a woman does not value you, the first thing you must stop feeding is her ego. Not her heart, not her peace, her ego. Because sometimes a woman is not keeping you close because she respects you. She is keeping you close because your attention makes her feel powerful. That is a hard truth, my friend. She likes knowing you will still answer. She likes knowing you will still explain. She likes knowing you will still care when she gives you half effort. She likes knowing that one cold message from her can make you send a warm paragraph back. And every time you do that, you are feeding the part of her that believes your love has no boundary. Take Marcus, 52, from Charlotte. He had been seeing a woman named Angela, 46, for nearly a year. Angela was attractive, sharp, and unpredictable. Some days she was warm, feminine, and close. Other days she was cold, distant, and dismissive. Marcus kept trying to earn the warm version back. If she pulled away, he texted more. If she got quiet, he asked what was wrong. If she spoke to him with attitude, he softened his voice and tried to calm the situation. At first Marcus thought he was being mature, but over time he realized something painful. Angela had learned that she could give him less and still receive his best. That is how ego gets fed. She did not have to value his time because he kept giving it. She did not have to respect his feelings because he kept explaining them. She did not have to show consistency because he kept rewarding inconsistency with more attention. Then one night Angela cancelled dinner for the third time with a lazy text. No apology, no real reason, just can't make it tonight. The old Marcus would have replied, "It's okay, maybe another time." But this time he did not. He answered, "Understood, take care." Then he stopped reaching. No speech, no anger, no dramatic goodbye. He simply stopped feeding the pattern. When Angela texted days later like nothing happened, Marcus did not rush to restore the connection. He responded later calmly with no extra warmth. When she tried to pull him into an emotional back and forth, he did not bite. He had finally understood that his attention was the fuel. Folks, this is where your power returns. Not when you insult her. Not when you try to make her jealous. Not when you pretend you do not care. Power returns when you stop giving premium energy to someone who treats you like a backup option. A Stoic man does not reward what disrespects him. He sees the pattern clearly. If she gives confusion, he does not pay with devotion. If she gives coldness, he does not pay with pursuit. If she gives disrespect, he does not pay with explanation. He removes the reward. That is not cruelty. That is self-respect. When you stop feeding her ego, she starts feeling something she did not expect. The attention she thought was guaranteed becomes quiet. The man she thought would always explain becomes still. The emotional supply she used to reach for is no longer sitting there waiting, and that absence hits harder than your anger ever could. So stop feeding her ego with reaction. Stop feeding it with jealousy. Stop feeding it with paragraphs. Stop feeding it with your need to be understood. Let your calm withdrawal teach what your words could not. If you are done giving attention where value is missing, write this in the comments: I stop chasing. Stay with me, because the next move shows why silence can hit harder than every argument you wanted to have. Number 2. Make silence hit hard. Let's be honest, my friend. Silence only hits hard when it is clean, calm, and complete. If you stop texting her but keep posting sad quotes, she still hears you. If you stop calling but keep checking her stories, she still owns your attention. If you say nothing to her face but keep hoping your silence makes her panic, you are still tied to her reaction. That is not real silence. That is noise wearing a mask. The silence that hits hard is different. It does not beg. It does not perform. It does not announce itself. It does not say, "Look at me, I am finally done." It simply removes your presence from a place where your value was not being honored. Seneca said, "Silence is a lesson learned through life's many sufferings." That line matters here. A man does not become silent because he has nothing to say. He becomes silent because he has finally learned that some people use your words as a way to keep control over you. Folks, think about how many times you tried to explain. You explained why her coldness hurt. You explained why her mixed signals were draining you. You explained why respect mattered. You explained your heart, your intentions, your loyalty, your patience. And what happened? Maybe she listened for a moment. Maybe she gave you just enough softness to keep you there. Then the pattern returned. That is when silence becomes strength. Not the silent treatment of a childish man trying to punish. I am talking about the silence of a man who is no longer willing to keep auditioning for basic respect. You do not slam the door. You do not throw one last insult. You do not send a paragraph about everything she lost. You step back, close your mouth, and let your absence explain what your words could not. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Her reaction is outside your control. Whether she misses you, regrets it, or acts like she does not care, is outside your control. But your restraint belongs to you. Your attention belongs to you. Your decision to stop leaking energy into disrespect belongs to you. That is the part she feels. She expected the old rhythm. She pulls away, you chase. She acts cold, you ask what is wrong. She gives attitude, you explain yourself. She disappears, you wait. But when you go silent with control, the rhythm breaks. Suddenly, there is no emotional supply coming from you. No quick reply, no long defense, no effort to repair something she keeps damaging. At first she may act unbothered. Let her. Do not rush to measure the effect. Silence is not powerful because it creates an instant reaction. It is powerful because it removes the reaction she thought she could always get. And yes, that can shake her. Because anger still proves she can move you. Jealousy still proves she can reach you. Long messages still prove you are trying to be understood. But silence, real silence, says something colder and cleaner. It says your peace no longer needs her permission. That is what hits hard. So make your silence clean. No hidden messages, no emotional bait, no checking, no asking friends, no bitter posts. Just discipline. Let her feel the space where your attention used to be, while you return that energy to your body, your work, your purpose, and your life. If you are ready to let silence speak for you, write this in the comments. I choose silence. Stick with me, because the next move shows how taking back your access changes the entire power dynamic. Number 3. Take back your access. Let's be real, folks. She never had real power over you. She had access. Access to your attention. Access to your patience. Access to your late-night thoughts. Access to your desire, your reactions, your forgiveness, and the version of you that kept trying to make things right, even when she kept making things unclear. That is the part most men do not want to admit. A woman who does not value you often depends on access more than love. She may not treat you with consistency, but she still likes knowing you are reachable. She may not give you respect, but she still likes knowing your warmth is available. She may not choose you fully, but she still enjoys the emotional security of knowing you are somewhere nearby, ready to respond. Take James, 55, from Dallas. He had been involved with a woman named Renee, 49. Renee was charming when she wanted closeness, but cold when James asked for clarity. She would go quiet for days, then return with a soft message, like nothing happened. She would cancel plans, then expect him to reschedule. She would flirt with distance, then act offended when he finally pulled back. For months, James kept giving access. If Renee texted at midnight, he answered. If she wanted to talk after ignoring him all week, he listened. If she gave him a little affection, he forgot the disrespect. His heart was loyal, but his access was too cheap. And because it was too cheap, Renee stopped feeling the value of it. Then, one Friday night, Renee texted you around. The old James would have replied in seconds. He would have felt that little rush in his chest, that hope that maybe this time she was coming closer for real. But this time he paused. He looked at the message and saw the pattern, not the fantasy. He did not answer that night. The next morning he replied, "I'm not available for this kind of back and forth anymore." That was it. No paragraph, no anger, no courtroom. Just a man closing access to a woman who had learned to use it without valuing it. My friend, taking back your access is not about being cruel. It is about remembering that your presence is not public property. Your time is not a free room. Your emotional energy is not a place someone can enter whenever they feel lonely, bored, guilty, or curious. A Stoic man protects what belongs to him: his mind, his peace, his body, his attention, his desire. He does not hand those things to someone who treats them casually. He understands that access without respect becomes weakness. So take it back. Stop answering every message. Stop being available every time she gets cold and then wants warmth. Stop becoming her emotional shelter when she has not respected the man who built it. Stop giving her the benefits of closeness when she has not shown the behavior of someone who deserves closeness. This is where the power dynamic changes. Before she knew she could reach you, now she has to wonder. Before she could pull a reaction out of you, now she meets stillness. Before your desire leaned toward her, even when she gave less, now your self-respect stands between her and your access. That shift hits deeper than an argument, because anger tells her she still moves you, but removed access tells her she no longer owns the door. If you are ready to protect your energy from someone who does not value it, write this in the comments: I take access. Let's keep going, because the next move shows why your peace can shake her more than your anger ever could. Number 4. Let peace shake her. Let's get clear, my friend. Anger does not shake a woman who undervalued you the way peace does. Anger still tells her she can move you. Jealousy still tells her she can reach you. Long messages still tell her you are trying to be understood. But peace tells her something different. Peace tells her the old access is gone, and you are not bleeding in front of her anymore. That is what unsettles the pattern. When a woman has gotten used to your emotional reactions, she may expect you to break when she pulls away. She may expect you to argue when she is cold. She may expect you to chase when she withholds warmth. She may expect you to explain your heart again because you have done it so many times before. But when she sees you calm, focused, and unbothered, the script collapses. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Her mood is an outside event. Her attention is an outside event. Her decision to value you or not value you is an outside event. Your peace is yours. And when you protect it, you stop letting someone else's inconsistency decide the weather inside your chest. Folks, peace does not mean you feel nothing. You may still feel the sting. You may still remember the good nights, the heat, the chemistry, the moments when she made you believe there was something deeper. But a Stoic man does not build his identity around those memories. He takes the lesson, closes the leak, and returns to himself. That is why your peace shakes her. because she may have expected damage. She may have expected bitterness. She may have expected you to become smaller, louder, colder, or more desperate. Instead, you become steady. You go to work. You train. You sleep better. You reconnect with men who sharpen you. You stop posting for her eyes. You stop asking whether she noticed. You stop making her the audience of your healing. And listen, if you want deeper lessons on Stoic peace, masculine discipline, emotional control, and how to rebuild your frame after being undervalued, consider joining the channel membership. That is where we go deeper and sharpen these principles with more structure. Seneca said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." That is the kind of peace we are talking about, not fake peace, not a performance. Not standing in the mirror pretending you do not care. Real peace means your next breath no longer depends on her next move. This is where many men fail. They want her to see them peaceful so badly that they turn peace into another performance. They post too much. They smile too hard. They make sure she hears they are doing great. My friend, that is not peace. That is still a reaction. Real peace does not need a witness. Real peace is when you stop checking. Stop hoping she asks about you. Stop replaying what she might feel when your name comes up. You are not doing better to hurt her. You are doing better because you finally stopped abandoning yourself. You become loyal to your own calm before you become available to anyone else. And when a woman realizes your peace is real, not staged, it hits differently. She understands your world kept moving without her approval. She understands her absence did not destroy your value. She understands the man she undervalued has found something stronger than chasing her validation. If you are ready to protect your peace, write this in the comments. I protect peace. Stay tuned because the next move shows why stopping your explanations can become the loudest statement you ever make. Number 5. Stop explaining your heart. Let's be real, folks. A man loses power when he keeps explaining his heart to a woman who has already shown she does not value it. You think one more conversation will make her understand. One more message will make her softer. One more paragraph will finally prove your loyalty, your pain, your patience, and the reason you stayed so long. But if she wanted to understand, she would have listened before your voice got tired. Take Paul, 54, from Tampa. He had been involved with a woman named Michelle, 47, for almost a year. Michelle was magnetic when she wanted closeness. She knew how to look at him across the table, touch his arm, and make him feel like a man again. But when things got serious, she became dismissive. She twisted his concerns. She said he was too sensitive. She acted like his need for respect was some kind of weakness. Paul kept explaining. When Michelle cancelled plans, he explained why his time mattered. When she went cold, he explained how her silence affected him. When she flirted with distance, he explained that he was not trying to control her. He was trying to build something real. Every time Michelle gave him just enough softness to quiet him down, then the same pattern came back. One night after another, argument where Michelle turned his pain into a debate, Paul finally stopped. She said, "You always make everything so serious." The old Paul would have defended himself. He would have explained that commitment mattered. He would have reminded her how patient he had been. But this time he looked at her calmly and said, "You know what I mean. I'm not explaining it again." Then he left. No slammed door. No insult. No emotional speech. Just a man finally realizing that his heart was not a courtroom exhibit. That is the lesson, my friend. Your feelings are not meant to be placed on trial for someone who benefits from misunderstanding you. If you keep explaining, she keeps judging. If you keep defending, she keeps controlling the frame. Suddenly the disrespect is no longer the issue. Your reaction becomes the issue. Your tone becomes the issue. Your timing becomes the issue. Do not walk into that trap. A Stoic man uses words with discipline. He does not hide from truth, but he also does not waste truth on ears that have chosen comfort over accountability. If you made a mistake, own it clearly. If you hurt someone, apologize directly. But if you have already spoken with honesty and she still twists the story, silence becomes the stronger answer. Stop explaining your heart to someone who treats your sincerity like leverage. There is a quiet, masculine power in saying less, not because you are cold, but because you have stopped begging to be interpreted correctly. You know your intention, you know your effort. You know the nights you stayed calm when you could have walked away. You know what you gave. If she chooses not to value it, another explanation will not make her worthy of it. And here is the part that matters. When you stop explaining, you stop giving her a map to your weak spots. You become harder to twist, harder to guilt, and harder to pull back into chaos. So speak once, speak clean, then let behavior decide the rest. If she respects you, she will meet the truth with effort. If she does not, your silence will protect what your explanations kept exposing. If you are done defending your heart to someone who refuses to value it, write this in the comments: I explain less. Don't go anywhere, because the next move shows how breaking her control quietly changes the way she feels your absence. Number 6. Break her control quietly. Let's be clear, my friend. A woman only controls you when your emotions keep answering her. She does not need your obedience if she has your reaction. She does not need your full commitment if she can still disturb your peace with one cold message, one late reply, one mood swing, or one look that pulls you back into old weakness. That is why you break her control quietly, not by attacking her, not by humiliating her, not by trying to win some childish power game. You break control by becoming less reactive. You stop giving her emotional buttons to press. You stop letting her distance make you chase. You stop letting her attitude make you defend yourself. You stop letting her softness make you forget the pattern that made you lose respect for yourself. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That is the whole lesson right there. If her silence can make you panic, you are not free. If her charm can erase your boundaries, you are not free. If her disrespect can make you abandon your center, you are not free. Freedom begins when your inner state no longer belongs to her behavior. Folks' control often looks small at first. She gets cold and you start explaining. She pulls away and you start pursuing. She blames you and you start defending. She acts uncertain and you start proving. Every reaction gives her information. Every emotional move tells her, this still works on him. A Stoic man stops giving that information. He observes instead of reacting. He breathes before responding. He lets her mood pass without chasing it. He stops treating every shift in her tone like an emergency. He understands that if a woman does not value him, his job is not to convince her. His job is to recover the part of himself that kept begging to be valued. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Her games, her mixed signals, her coldness, her sudden warmth, all of that sits outside your control. But your response is yours. Your attention is yours. Your silence is yours. Your decision to stop entering emotional chaos is yours. That is how control breaks. At first, she may test harder. Do not be surprised. When someone is used to getting a reaction from you, your calm can feel like a challenge. She may accuse you of changing. She may say, "You are cold now." She may try to pull guilt out of you. She may suddenly become sweet, just to see if the old door still opens. Do not rush. You can be respectful without being available. You can be calm without being soft. You can answer without explaining. You can walk away without making a scene. That is quiet power. It does not need volume because it has structure. And understand this. Breaking her control does not mean you hate her. Hatred is still control. Bitterness is still control. Revenge is still control. Real freedom is when she no longer directs your mood, your choices, your schedule, your self-image, or your sense of masculine worth. That is what shakes her. Not your anger, your non-reaction, not your insults, your composure, not your pain, your peace. So stop reacting to every emotional hook. Stop defending against every accusation. Stop trying to prove you are a good man to someone who uses your goodness as a handle. Let your stillness become the wall her control cannot climb. If you are ready to stop letting her move, you write this in the comments: I break control. Stick with me, because the next move shows how thriving beyond her reach becomes the proof she can no longer deny. Number 7. Thrive beyond her reach. Let's be honest, folks. Nothing unsettles a woman who undervalued you more than seeing you thrive beyond her reach. Not pretend to thrive, not post a performance for her eyes, not dress up pain and call it peace. I am talking about the real kind of thriving, the kind that shows in your posture, your schedule, your discipline, your face, and the way your life no longer bends toward her mood. Because when she did not value you, she may have assumed your world would get smaller without her. She may have thought her coldness would keep you waiting. She may have believed your desire for her was strong enough to keep you orbiting, even after she gave less than you deserved. Then you move beyond her reach. Take David, 57, from Nashville. He had been involved with a woman named Karen, 51. Karen enjoyed his attention, but she did not respect its cost. She liked that David checked in. She liked that he listened when she was overwhelmed. She liked that his masculine steadiness was there whenever her life felt messy. But when David needed consistency, Karen disappeared into excuses. When he wanted respect, she called him intense. When he pulled back, she gave just enough softness to pull him in again. For months, David lived inside that cycle. Then one day, he stopped chasing the warm version of her and started rebuilding the strong version of himself. He did not announce it. He did not post revenge quotes. He did not try to make Karen jealous. He simply redirected his energy. He went back to morning workouts. He repaired his relationship with his son. He joined a business group. He cleaned up his home, upgraded his clothes, and stopped answering messages that carried no respect. At first, Karen acted like she did not notice, but life has a way of showing change. A mutual friend mentioned that David looked different, calmer, sharper, more alive. Karen saw him at a charity event, later laughing with people standing tall, not scanning the room for her. He greeted her politely, but there was no hunger in his eyes, no old need, no silent request for approval. That is when she felt it. My friend, thriving beyond her reach means becoming a man she can no longer access with the same tools. Her silence does not pull you down. Her charm does not pull you back. Her confusion does not make you chase. Your life has grown beyond the emotional cage she once kept you in. This is not revenge. Revenge still keeps her at the center. Thriving means she is no longer the center at all. You are not building your body for her. You are not improving your finances for her. You are not becoming calmer so she regrets you. You are doing it because a man who values himself does not stay broken in the place where he was not valued. There is a quiet power in that kind of growth. A man who was once available, emotional, and easy to reach becomes composed, disciplined, and selective. His energy gets cleaner. His attention gets rarer. His warmth becomes something earned, not assumed. That is what makes her look twice. So thrive where she cannot touch you. Build routines she cannot interrupt. Build confidence she cannot shake. Build a future she cannot enter without respect. Let your life become the proof that losing her did not reduce you. It returned you to yourself. If you are ready to rise beyond anyone who undervalued you, write this in the comments: I rise higher. Stay with me, because the next move shows why choosing peace over drama makes you impossible to drag back down. Number 8. Choose peace over drama. Let's be clear, my friend. Drama only has power when you keep entering the room where it lives. If a woman does not value you, she may pull you into arguments, guilt, mixed signals, sudden sweetness, cold silence, and emotional confusion. But the moment you choose peace over drama, you stop being available for the storm. That choice cuts deeper than any angry speech. Because drama still keeps her important. Drama still gives her your attention. Drama still proves that her mood can bend your day, disturb your sleep, and pull your masculine focus off the life you are supposed to be building. Peace does the opposite. Peace says, I am no longer willing to trade my center for a reaction from you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. That is the standard here. If she brings chaos, you do not become chaotic. If she twists your words, you do not start twisting hers. If she plays victim after disrespecting you, you do not waste your energy trying to win the court of public opinion. You step back, you breathe, you choose clean distance. Folks understand this. Choosing peace does not mean you let disrespect slide. It means you handle disrespect without becoming infected by it. You can walk away without screaming. You can set a boundary without insulting. You can stop answering without making a performance. You can close the door without needing to slam it. That is the difference between weakness and self-command. Many men mistake drama for passion. They think if the connection is intense, it must be deep. If she makes them angry, jealous, anxious, excited and confused, they call it chemistry. No, my friend, sometimes that is not chemistry. Sometimes that is your nervous system being trained to crave instability. A Stoic man learns to separate heat from chaos. Real attraction does not require you to lose yourself. Real desire does not require disrespect. Real feminine energy does not need to keep you uncertain, just to keep you interested. If the connection costs your peace every week, it is not love. It is emotional debt. Seneca said, a man is as miserable as he thinks he is. That does not mean pain is fake. It means your mind can become a prison if you keep feeding the same disorder. Every argument you replay, every insult you answer, every test you accept, every late-night message you send to fix the chaos keeps you inside that prison. So choose peace over drama in practical ways. Do not answer messages sent only to provoke you. Do not explain yourself to someone committed to misunderstanding you. Do not meet disrespect with a speech. Do not let loneliness trick you into returning to a woman who only feels familiar because her chaos became your habit. Choose the quiet gym session. Choose the walk. Choose work. Choose sleep. Choose a calm meal with a good friend. Choose the life that makes your nervous system steady again. That may sound simple, but simple things rebuild a man. And here is what she feels when you choose peace. She feels that the old access to your reactions is gone. She feels that her drama no longer gets premium attention. She feels that the man she once pulled into emotional fire has learned to step outside the smoke. That is what makes you hard to drag back down. If you are ready to stop mistaking drama for love, write this in the comments. I choose peace. Don't go anywhere, because the next move shows how becoming hard to use makes your value impossible to ignore. Number 9. Become hard to use. Let's be real, folks. A woman can only use what you keep offering without conditions. Your time, your attention, your forgiveness, your late-night availability, your listening ear, your masculine steadiness when her life gets messy. If she does not value you, but still gets access to all of that, then you have taught her that your value can be used without being respected. That has to end. Becoming hard to use does not mean becoming hard-hearted. It does not mean you stop being kind, generous, protective, or emotionally mature. It means you stop giving high-value energy to low-value behavior. You stop being the man she calls when she is lonely, but ignores when she is happy. You stop being the man who fixes her problems, but never receives her loyalty. You stop being the safe place for a woman who treats your heart like a convenience. Take Richard, 59, from San Antonio. He had been involved with a woman named Vanessa, 52. Vanessa knew Richard was dependable. If her car had trouble, he helped. If she had a stressful day, he listened. If she felt lonely, he answered. But when Richard wanted consistency, Vanessa became vague. When he wanted real effort, she said he was asking too much. When he needed respect, she acted like his needs were pressure. For months, Richard kept giving. He told himself he was being a good man, and he was a good man, but he was giving good man energy to a woman who had learned to receive without honoring it. That is the dangerous part. Goodness without boundaries becomes something people consume. Then one evening, Vanessa called him after not speaking for almost a week. She sounded sweet. She needed help moving something heavy from her garage. The old Richard would have gone immediately. He would have mistaken being needed for being valued. But this time he paused and said, "I'm not available for that anymore." Vanessa was surprised. She asked, "What does that mean?" Richard answered calmly, "It means I'm not going to keep showing up in ways that are not respected." That was the moment he became hard to use. My friend, some women do not miss your value until they lose the benefits of it. Not because all women are selfish, but because human beings often take for granted what stays available without cost. If your presence always repairs, comforts, pays, listens, forgives, and rescues, even after disrespect, then your presence stops feeling like a gift. It starts feeling like a resource. A Stoic man does not let himself become a resource for someone else's ego. He gives from strength, not from fear. He helps where respect exists. He supports where effort is mutual. He protects what is precious in him by choosing where his energy goes. So, become harder to use. Let your yes become rarer. Let your help require respect. Let your attention follow consistency. Let your warmth meet accountability, not excuses. If she wants access to the best parts of you, she must bring something better than charm, beauty, chaos, or temporary softness. There is quiet power in a man who cannot be used. His kindness has edges. His desire has discipline. His heart is open but not unguarded. His presence is warm but not free to people who treat it carelessly. That kind of man becomes unforgettable because he no longer trades self-respect for closeness. If you are ready to protect what makes you valuable, write this in the comments. I guard myself. Stay with me, because the final move shows how to leave as the blessing she failed to recognize. Number 10. Leave as the blessing. Let's bring this home, my friend. When a woman does not value you, the final move is not to make her suffer, chase, regret, or prove that she lost a good man. The final move is to leave as the blessing, quietly, cleanly, with your dignity still in your hands. A blessing does not beg to be recognized. A blessing does not stand at the door explaining why it should have been appreciated. A blessing does not keep knocking on a heart that treated loyalty like something ordinary. It simply leaves, and the absence teaches what the presence could not. That is the part most men struggle with. You want her to understand. You want her to look back and say, "I had a man who cared. I had a man who was patient. I had a man who gave me peace, protection, attention, and real effort."